yeah. What do you think about the main event? I mean, you seem like you're pretty supportive of Carlos. A lot of critics are coming out saying they didn't like the defensive strategy, you know, moving backwards.
And that stuff drives me crazy. Yeah. You don't like the way he fought? Who gives a shit? Too bad. The kid came out with a game plan and he fought. I actually think in that last round he could have finished Nick. I think he laid back and played it safe, didn't want to get in there and get dangerous in exchange. You know what I mean? People don't like the way that he fought. Oh well.
People say, you know, you've got to be disappointed you don't get to put the big money fight together that you wanted to put together.
Not at all. George St. Pierre and Carlos Condit will be a big fight. I guarantee you.
How about Roy Nelson tonight? I know he'd been on thin ice before. This wasn't. It's weird. It was a gutsy performance, but it wasn't necessarily a great performance. Where do you stand with Roy? What do you think? How do you evaluate him, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I've been telling Roy forever that, you know, if Roy took himself serious and, you know, for instance, I mean, Roy had a couple of moments there. He rocked Verdun once with a couple of shots, you know, and if he was in good enough shape to keep that kind of a pace, he would win more fights, you know. I told him, you can't, I mean, why, you know, like, the shtick was funny for a while, but going in at 265 with a frame that doesn't carry 265 makes no sense when you're a professional fighter or a professional athlete of any kind. He got his weight down, you know. He's tough, though, man. He's so tough. He's one of the toughest guys I've ever seen.
So even with the loss, you think he's safe right now?
We'll see what happens. I mean, the guy brings it. He comes to fight, you know. You wonder what he could do if he really trained and got into it.
Do you think that could take away from his power, though, if he got smaller?
I don't know. Yeah, I think you either have it or you don't. You know, you got these guys that have knockout power, and guys that don't. You know, I don't know what difference your weight would be. You know, it's one thing if we're talking about a guy's weight being explosive and athletic as to being 265 pounds.
Did you think Nick was serious when he said he was retiring?
You never know with Nick Diaz, you know? You never know. I think he's just upset right now, and I think he's emotional, but who knows? We'll tell you what, the kid's made a lot of money. I mean, if he didn't want to do it anymore, maybe he could retire, but why? He's in his prime. Fight a few more years, and you'll have enough money to really do it and kick back for the rest of your life.
When you hear Josh Koscheck say that he's no longer with AKA, that was, you know, there were some matchups there that you wanted to put together for a long time.
I whispered to him, I said, now I'm doing a John Fitch fight. That's what I said to him.
What was his reaction?
He said, good luck with that.
So you think he still wouldn't be open to it right now? Or does the evil genius inside of you just want to put that together regardless of whether it makes sense?
That's what Lorenzo said.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what Lorenzo said too. I don't know.
No.
I'm just fucking with him. You know, if the fight made sense, because there was a time when those two were both going like this, and you know, if the fight made sense, though, yeah, I'd try to make it. I wouldn't do it just to do it.
Yeah, you would.
Now, out of that AKA crew, it was Koscheck and Fitch. What's going on with Mike Swick at this point? Have you guys been in contact with him or not really?
I haven't. I know Joe Silva has. Swick hurts himself when he gets out of bed in the morning every day, you know? I love Swick. He's one of my favorite guys, but, you know, he's Mr. Glass. What do you think of Josh's performance? Josh? Yeah. Josh looked flat tonight, man. It looked like I expected Josh to have the faster hands, you know, let him go. He didn't really let his hands go tonight. He looked flat.
Renan Barão, people are starting to look at him. He's kind of flying under the radar, I think.
Not in Brazil, he's not.
No, definitely not. What did you think about his performance? I know you don't like your matchmaking. Obviously, you've already got a title fight set up in that division. Right. But what do you think about that guy?
Yeah, I think he's, you know, first of all, he's got an incredible streak going. He's huge, but he's the buzz right now in Brazil. Everybody's buzzing about that guy. And we'll see what happens.
I'm sorry. I know you mentioned it a little bit during the press conference, but did you talk to George St. Pierre after the fight? And if you do, what do you think that conversation is going to be like?
Yeah, I didn't. You know, I know he wanted Diaz, and he really wanted that Diaz fight bad, but it's not going to be Diaz. So he better get angry with Carlos Condit, or focused on Carlos Condit, or whatever it is he needs to do.
Yeah.
Now, knee injuries they're hit or miss. That sometimes somebody comes back 100%.
Knees.
And often they're never the same. Is there any worry in your mind that maybe St. Pierre isn't the same champion that he is?
I don't know. You know, these knee surgeries these days aren't what they used to be. Right. He went to the absolute best doctor there is. He's getting the best physical therapy that you can get, and he's a hard worker. So some of these knee surgeries that they do now are just as good as, I mean, Jerry Rice, 10 years ago, came back off after a knee surgery and was still awesome. I think it depends on the individual, but these new knee surgeries are way different than they used to be.
And before this event, you guys released a video of interviews with football players to get their picks on this fight. Is that something that we can expect in the future from the relationship with Fox?
The Fox didn't have anything to do with that.
Really?
Yeah, no. Yeah, that had nothing to do with Fox.
So how'd you guys set that up then?
We just went in and we got it done. We interviewed the guys and what they thought about the fight. We were going to get Brady too, but Brady was they had him on lockdown. Couldn't get near Brady.
Sean Shelby couldn't pull some strings on that one?
Dude, you couldn't get near Brady. Nobody could get near Brady.
I don't want anybody to mess with him.
Exactly. We didn't need his prediction of that. I'm with you.
Justin Poirier looked really good tonight. Do you have any maybe idea of setting him up with the Korean Zombie or any of the guys he was mentioning at the
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, those would be exciting fights, and we like to give guys fights that they want. So it could happen, yeah. I'm not saying yes that that's his next fight, but yes, it could be.
Mr. White, I know you're going back to Brazil, going to Japan.
Tomorrow.
Any chance or any word of what quarter, which month that the UFC will be coming to Hawaii?
No, we're still working on that, but we want to do it. You know, I was kind of hoping, you know, go to Hawaii again and do like a BJ fight, you know, at the Aloha Bowl, but BJ wants to take some time off and he's going to relax for a while, so. But we're coming either regardless, but that was the fight I really wanted to do there.
Did you watch the Stephen Thompson fight live? Did you see it as it happened?
Did what?
The Stephen Thompson fight, did you watch that live as it happened, the head kick?
No, I missed that fight.
You saw it on tape?
I missed that fight, yeah, I saw it on tape.
How satisfying is it to kind of bring in a guy like that who's known for that kind of stuff and then he does it?
Yeah, no,
right
awesome. Joe Rogan has been talking about this guy in his sleep. I mean, every time I talked to Rogan, he was going crazy about this kid. And then for him to come in and pull off a kick like that was awesome.
You think somebody like that's going to be marketable in that division as he goes forward?
Keep doing shit like that, you're going to be very marketable, yeah, and people are going to love to watch you fight.
So you're going to Brazil for the TUF show, right? They're starting on Tuesday or so, right? What's the deal in
Monday.
Okay, so what?
Fly tomorrow and land Monday and start filming. We filmed the first day in Rio, and then the next 2 days we filmed in Sao Paulo.
And so what's the opportunity for us to see those fights? Is there already been a plan established for us to see that show?
They're gonna be on they're gonna be on UFC.com and they're gonna be somewhere else too. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yes, everybody's gonna be able to see them.
And is that being shot the same way that used to be done, where it's all going to be finished and then we get to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it following the old format or is it the live format that we use?
That's yeah.
Gotcha.
With the live format for the new U.S. show, are guys going to be kind of sequestered on lockdown like they were previously, or are they going to be able to have cell phones?
No.
Still the same deal, but twice as long.
Yep. Yeah.
Sorry,
guys.
guys.
It's going to be crazy. The first season of The Ultimate Fighter was the longest season we've ever done. It was something like 8 weeks. And those guys were losing their fucking minds. Bonner jumped. I almost kicked Bonner off the show. Bonner climbed up, turned the shower on, pretended he was taking a shower, climbed out the window, and went to a liquor store. Because we took all the liquor out of the house, remember? After the big fight?
Right.
And he got caught, obviously. These idiots were in there driving around for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, whatever it was. That house was in the middle of nowhere. There's no liquor store near there. The guy was walking for like an hour and 30 minutes. So the shower was on. We caught him leaving. And imagine that. So much crazy shit happened that first season. Imagine if I kicked Stephan Bonner off the show and going to a liquor store. Forrest and Stephan would have never happened. It's just weird. So, thank God.